Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Angel Talk with your host, Isabella, which honestly, I need to start getting into a habit of saying, this is your host, and maybe because it sounds more professional. I don't know. My name is Isabella. We're hanging out. This is my podcast where we talk about literally anything under the sun. I like having relatable stuff, just real conversations, and today we are going to talk about I don't know. What do I even call this? This is going to be a very relaxed episode, if you cannot tell. If some of you are watching or can see, I'm literally in my bed right now, and honestly, I fuck with this setup. I think it's relaxed. I think it's calm. I think it's great, right? And I think it's perfect for what we're covering in today's episode. So today, I feel like it's more going to be a conversation of things kind of suck, and let's bitch together. I think today's episode is 100% let's collectively feel like shit and bitch together. Full transparency, y'all. Today's episode is inspired by me feeling anxious as fuck and feeling like shit. Full transparency, right? You guys know I like keeping it very real on here. And I just want to have a conversation about things and also give reminders, This is so silly, but I feel like this podcast in a way gives me an opportunity to not only give you guys pep talks, but give myself pep talks. So you guys know I'm very real about things I experience, what's going on, if I feel good or bad about things. And right now is one of those days where I don't feel too great about a lot, And I'm overwhelmed. There's so much happening in our world that's got me so damn anxious, and just a billion other things that are in my personal life. And I know this isn't something that I've just experienced, and there's many other people. And I realize with me getting through stuff, I have to physically talk myself through it. I have to sit down and be like, look, you're going to be okay. Here's some reminders and I have to give myself some type of support. And I feel like in a way too, these kinds of conversations I have with myself are helpful for other people. And they're also just real and relatable. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of podcasts I feel like that are so, and just content in general, which is perfectly fine, right? We like this, but there's some that's so fucking unicorns, magical, everything's great, right? And that's fun. I love that. Trust me, so much of my content is fun and exciting and all that, right? But I also think it's so important to have the let's bitch talk. You know what I mean? Let's feel like shit together. Let's have a conversation about the problematic things that are going on in your life, my life, and not everything is magical, And this is definitely one of those episodes. So I've been really anxious about a lot of stuff right now when it comes to just the news, everyday life. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are feeling this way. And I'm sure this is going to really vary per person. There's certain things you might be stressing out more that I might not, or I have no idea, right? I don't know what you're going through, but for me, I've been so overwhelmed with a lot of things, good and bad. Today, I felt so overwhelmed. I felt so fucking anxious. I'm like, my God, this all this sucks. There's so much happening that's bad. And if I'm stressed, I can't even imagine what other people are feeling right now that are going to be far more impacted by some of these laws and changes. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I just felt so hopeless, honestly. And so what the fuck are we doing? What's next, And I feel like shit. I just feel horrific seeing all these things. I just from me seeing it and realizing the weight that this is going to put on so many people and the insane damage it's going to put on people, that stresses me the fuck out. It makes me scared for my future. It makes me scared for my kids' future, And so I think this is a wonderful time to talk about how I feel like we need... Sorry, if you guys could see. Lila, sorry, I know, we gotta pause this. Lila, my sweet fur baby, who's sitting right in front of me, she is scratching her head and she's laying on the bed right now. And I feel like she can tell, yep, here we go. She can tell I'm anxious. She can tell I'm anxious. So she's very snuggly today. If you guys, please comment down below if you guys have a fur baby, because I swear they are magical and more. But anyways, I think we need to have a bit of reminders when it comes to how we're feeling. Because a lot of us who are watching are probably feeling anxious and shitty. And a lot of us probably feel guilty for it. Because I'm going to tell you right now from firsthand, I feel guilty as fuck. Feeling so bad and icky and anxious about so much going on in our world. Like, I just do. I'll sit here and I'm like, God, why is this impacting me so much? Why am I so scared about the future? Like, I feel so bad because it starts seeping into my everyday life, you know? Because even hearing the Supreme Court rulings, I got so anxious. I just started crying and I just felt overwhelmed. And I, like, even waking up this morning, I just felt like shit. Like, I just felt like I didn't want to do anything. I felt so just sick and depressed and fucking miserable. And I know there's so many of us who are so overwhelmed with everyday living and everyday basics because it has gotten so hard. And I know for me personally, there's so many things I'm not going to experience because I'm a very, very privileged individual and I acknowledge that. But I also want to get on here and say that so many of y'all are going through some shit. Some shit. There's so many pushes in our world and even on social media that are trying to make us fall into this toxic positivity world, which is so fucking stupid. And it's kind of where I'm going with this conversation is a lot of us are falling into feeling guilty for hating what's happening to us. And again, I can only say that for the things that I'm experiencing are minuscule compared to what so many other people are feeling in their everyday, world. I want to say you're not a bad person for fucking hating things and bitching about it, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, with me feeling overwhelmed and just stressed and freaked out about so much going on, I'm going to tell you, and I don't care what anyone says about this, bitching and letting it out is so therapeutic. I jokingly call it like bitching, like I gotta bitch about this, I gotta do it, because I'm going to tell you right now, the way that me bitching makes me feel better about a situation, I don't know how to explain it. There's some times where I know I can't change things. I can't do much. I just have to let it out, though. Bitching is therapeutic, okay? So I'm here to get on this damn platform and tell you, bitch, okay? You've earned it. With how much shit that's going on in our world and probably in your world that I'm unaware of, you've earned it, bitch, okay? And this whole, like, icky feeling that I've just had from other personal life experiences, the world, and so much more, and with feeling guilty, I'm, like, literally having to sit down and remind myself that it's okay. I need to stop putting so much pressure on me to be perfect and positive and happy when things fucking suck. Like, they just flat out do, right? And I have to remind myself, like, I am not a bad person for being angry at what's happening to other people, to myself. I have every right to be pissed off at the world, you know? I just kind of circling back, though, to just our world and what we live in right now. We are so pushed, I believe, as a society to fall into this toxic positivity cycle that is just hurting us so much. And I literally want to sit here and encourage everyone to let it out in some way, shape, or form, right? Be safe, you know, be proactive, but let your feelings the fuck out. Because I know right now there's some viewers of mine that are sitting here that are like, I'm overwhelmed, the world sucks, this is piling up on me, I'm pissed off. And some of you feel guilty for letting it out. Some of you feel guilty for being sad or angry. Be angry. That's okay. Let it the fuck out. And this is so silly, okay? But one of the best things I recommend for everyone to do, if you can, watch the movie Inside Out. No, this is, if you have or have not, all right, I'll give you a little synopsis, but I recommend every individual as an adult to watch the cartoon movie Inside Out, all right? It's in the goofiest way possible. When I first watched that movie, it changed my life and it became one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. It literally talks about people and your emotions, and they characterize the emotions. So, for example, one of them is joy, and she's, like, happy and playful and fun, and she's, like, this little character. And then we have, like, sadness and anger, and they're all individual characters in your mind, right? And sadness was pissing me off in the whole movie because she kept fucking with things and she kept making everything else just miserable and sad, right? And so this whole time, when I first watched this, I'm like, sadness is so fucking annoying. Sadness is not helpful. Why doesn't sadness stay away and stop? And then at the end of the movie, sadness steps in when she was supposed to because she was needed. Like, it was a huge part of the human emotions, like, scale. And in the weirdest way, and again, this is going to make more sense if you watch it, okay? But I was so annoyed with sadness because she was an annoying character at first. And then seeing sadness step in and be helpful in the healing process and feeling better, it was like a light bulb moment for me. I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, that's how I feel about my own sadness. That's how I feel about my own anger. I fucking think it's annoying, and I've pushed it away so much. Like, I've genuinely tried to deny it. And it made me realize that just like all these other emotions of being happy are valid, so are you being pissed off and sad. And you have a right to feel every single one of your emotions fully, especially right now with where our world's going. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, bitch, feel mad, feel sad. And I don't want any of you sitting here feeling guilty for your emotions, okay? And this goes for all of you, okay? Whether you're a parent and you're like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. I'm like, I feel bad for being sad and having an off day. Honestly, I think that's not even bad. Like, that's a good way to show your kids that, and again, I'm not a parent. Heads up, I'm not a parent. But what I'm, as a former child myself, I think it's good to see a parent express their emotions in a healthy way. You know what I mean? I think that's good. I think it's beneficial, right? And it's okay because you're going through shit too, right? If you are someone that, again, you're going through crazy things, I don't know what you're going through, fucking be pissed. Get angry. Let it out in the healthiest way possible because those emotions are so fucking valid and need to be utilized, because if you keep ignoring your anger and sadness, it's going to do nothing but hurt you. It just is. And I realized I did far more damage to myself denying myself of feeling my emotions fully than I did, you know, I hurt myself far more denying myself of my emotions, 100%. And I know this is so all over the place with this conversation, but I think with me feeling so anxious and overwhelmed, I've had to have a conversation with myself of like, let it out, be mad, your feelings are valid, it's okay, you're gonna get through it. And I have to follow that cycle over and over again. And again, because I know I'm not the only one living in this world. So I was like, all right, I need to have this conversation with people who are watching, because I know y'all are having these feelings too. You know, a lot of you guys, wherever you're at, so much is happening to you. I don't even know what could be happening, right? And by the way, for those of you watching or listening, comment down below if you feel comfortable and bitch with me. Bitch about something going on with your life. We're going to call it a bitch sesh or whatever. Bitchin' with Bella. There we go. We're going to call this bitchin' with Bella at this point. All right, bitch with me, okay? For example, I'm going to bitch. I'm stressed the fuck out about our world. I'm freaked out about it. I'm freaked out about how far these laws are going to go to hurt people and their rights. That scares me, right? I'm stressed out about moving. As simple as that is. I'm stressed the fuck out. I'm bitching about that. I'm stressed the fuck out about moving. I'm stressed the fuck out about, you know, not being the best of the best with everything I do. I'm overwhelmed in that way, right? But see, we're bitching. We're bitching together. Bitch in the comment section. Seriously, let it the fuck out, right? Bitch. Because it's valid, right? Me being stressed out about my damn moving, that's valid, right? Is it the end of the world? No. Is it the worst thing that can happen to me? No. Still valid, right? I don't care if you need a bitch because your coffee was not right this morning. I don't give a fuck. Bitch. Okay? Let it the fuck out. Because you need to. It makes you feel better, okay? And I think we need to make sure that we're adamant about embracing the bitching and being mad about it. And to me, when I think of bitching, I don't think of it in a bad way. Like, first of all, I got to get that out of the way. When I think of the term bitching, I think of like letting it out. Bitching and mouthing off about your problems. Don't let this stupid fucking toxic positivity shit mess with you from feeling your emotions fully, okay? Be mad. Be unhappy about things. Let it out fully so that you are taking care of yourself. Because I personally think a level of self-care is feeling all of your emotions fully, all right? Self-care is not always about like the face masks and journaling, and that not everyone fucking can do that. Okay, self-care is acknowledging when you're feeling like shit and letting it out. That's what I think a level of self-care is. And frankly, this is my level of self-care. Letting it out and bitching, okay? Because I'm frankly overwhelmed. I've had some panic attacks recently because of some of these things, right? And I feel like some of my fears and things are fucking minuscule compared to what so many of y'all are going through. But I want to be a level of a reminder that you have every right and you are entitled to your own emotions in this way. Let it out, okay? Be mad, be angry, be sad. I don't fucking care. But don't let someone tell you you're overreacting that way, okay? And this is kind of following that exact phrase I just said. There's been a lot of posts that I've seen on certain levels of social media that have some people that are like, you're overreacting about the world and our country and it's not that bad and like it's fine, people are just too sensitive. And I fucking hate that statement because I feel like it's just an excuse to ignore real world problems. And this is another reminder too, is just because something's not happening to you doesn't mean it's not real. And there's a lot of people that are going through real everyday horrible things, and I don't want you to feel invalidated. I don't want you to feel like you're a bad person for feeling shit and feeling scared and feeling stressed. I don't want you to be gaslit and feeling like, oh, these problems aren't real. Like, I'm just freaking out. No, you have a right to be pissy. There's so much shit happening in our world right now, and there's things I that won't impact me that I don't know about. But if they impact you, first of all, I'm so sorry, by the way. I'm so sorry that you're feeling like shit. It fucking sucks. I feel for you so deeply. But two, per literally the theme in this entire video, and I'm like repeating myself at this point, let it the fuck out. Let it the fuck out. Bitch, complain. I don't care how you do it. Be healthy, you know, don't hurt other people in the process of doing that. But like, let it out. Let it out. Again, take a drive. Blast your music. Ugly cry, right? Ugly cry. Do whatever the fuck you have to do. Try and cope and work with it in the healthiest way possible, but don't deny yourself of your own emotions, okay? Because I've been seeing way too many people do that. I'll even do it too. Like, I'll here and there be like, oh, fuck. I'm like feeling guilty for feeling sad and feeling out of it and dragging ass and feeling depressed. And then I'm gonna have to be like, okay, but Bella, like, everything that's happening in this world is overwhelming and sad and depressing. Like, it's not my fault that it's there. It's a lot, right? So I shouldn't feel guilty for reacting to what's being put in front of me. You know, what's happening to people, what's happening to me, or whatever the case may be, right? Because again, like, what can be happening? It could be anything, right? It could be crazy shit that's being signed into law, right? Or it could be, like, for example, it could be family, right? Family that's being fucking awful to you, and you're being gaslit into pretty much be nice to them, even though they treat you like shit. No, that's a real problem. You don't have to be happy about that. You can be mad. Maybe you're going through, maybe you're going through a breakup, right? And you feel guilty for feeling shitty and sad and lonely and depressed. Feel miserable. You're entitled to feeling like that. You'll get through it. I feel like feeling it fully will help you get through it better, you know? But feel it, dude. If it's even minuscule, again, if you're like, fuck, I was looking forward to that. Again, I know this is silly. We've all had our silly moments. I don't care. Even if you had your coffee, you went to your coffee shop, your favorite coffee shop, and your coffee was fucking ass. You're like, fuck, that sucked. Like, you don't have to be overly optimistic about everything, you know? Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to be that way, that's great. But I don't want you to fall into the over-toxic positivity, optimistic shenanigans because someone's pressuring you to do that. And you feel like you have to, otherwise you're a bad person, okay? Moral of the story with this entire podcast episode and conversation is you're not bad for feeling your feelings fully. They're 100% normal and natural. They're not bad. You're not a bad person. And if anything, it feels better to bitch and complain. And I feel like we need to do that in order to be able to cope and get through things fully, you know? And this is also very, last but not least, I don't know what you're going through, but I hope you're doing okay. And we're gonna get through this, okay? I hope everyone's doing all right. I hope people have good ways of coping with stuff and are able to let it out in their own way. I hope you're doing okay, right? There can be a lot of really scary things that are happening right now, and that's so valid. And please don't let someone make your emotions and feelings make you feel like your emotions and feelings are invalid and not real, because they are, you know? That was my bitch sesh. That was my bitch sesh Wow. I can't even say that. Okay. My bitch sesh with you all. Okay. Maybe if you want bitch with me, because I would love that. All right. We can bitch together and collectively connect over this. So I love you guys. I hope you're doing good. You know, I love you guys so much. And I will see you all in the next episode of Angel Talk. All right. So take care of yourself. Drink water. You're very valuable. I love you so much. I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye.